5 most profitable business ideas for 2021. Welcome back to another reaction video. We're going to be looking at Foundr's video today, and I'm going to be giving my 2 cents at the end of the video. So make sure that you watch my reaction to these 5, my commentary on them, on not only these 5, but a couple more that you can do going into 2021. Without further ado, let's dive into the video.
If Foundr went bankrupt tomorrow, lost everything, and I was $1 million in debt, these are the top 5 business ideas that I'd be looking at implementing to pay back that $1 million.
That's dramatic. If I was 1 million in debt, this is what I would do.
Number 5 is coaching or consulting. Every single person watching this could do this right now. Like, you must have some skills, whether it's you're a programmer, you're in really good shape, and you're a personal trainer.
It's true, everybody could do this to some extent. Do I just mean selling business consulting or marketing advice? So those are the typical ones that you hear about. Consulting, I'm a consultant for big corporate, right? Well, consulting these days, you look at people like Sam Ovens, who's the founder of consulting.com, and a lot of other big brands. What they do essentially is teach a specific skill or topic in depth to get a specific transformation. So me as a business owner, there's a lot of times where I've hired people who are better than me at a specific topic. For an example, Ironman, August 2021, I'm doing my Ironman. And so who do I hire? Well, someone who's better than me at Ironman, health, fitness, nutrition, everything that I need in order to not fail miserably. And if I fail, so be it. At least I know that I've put everything into it. And so consulting is for them selling me information how to best perform my Ironman. I know of a marriage consultant who's selling marriage advice to billionaires and charging $250,000 for 9 months of consulting. That's, yes, you can call it coaching, you can call it consulting, but it's more than just a course or information or a book or a podcast. You're selling some sort of advice in terms of one-on-one value. Okay, so a lot of times, yes, it can be group, it can be one-to-one, but it's basically getting that person from point A to point B and answering questions, so the person who are paying for your consulting are getting the transformation faster with less headache because of lack of clarity. You're giving them the clarity and telling them what to do in that specific niche. Again, if someone is all into business, they're going to want to know how to get in shape from a fitness consultant or coach way faster. So,
is freelancing, done for you services, or agency? Now, I talked to you about coaching or consulting.
So this is done for you services. Typically, you see these more online in the business and wealth industry. When you're selling advertising, you're selling done for you YouTube ads, Facebook ads, social media content, even book publishing, where me as a entrepreneur and business owner, you would then come to me and say, I will offer you a done for you service where we're going to do interviews and I'm going to be listening to your story and I'm going to do all of the writing for you to publish your book. And that would be done for you publishing services. And so, for an example, I am buying video editing done for you services. It's a very good industry to go into because people don't want to, like, yes, we buy courses and coaching and consulting to get the information, but we're still doing it. I'm putting in the time, the training for the Ironman. I am practicing whatever it is for my business. I'm doing the work, but as a done for you, I say, I don't have the time to do everything. So now it's time to outsource. So who can I pay to do this? And it's not just about getting the cheapest, because there's a lot of people that I could pay that are cheaper than the ones that I'm paying right now. But there's not a lot of people that takes away the mental stress. Let's say you hire someone who's cheaper, then you got to teach them how to do it as well. So you always want to hire someone who is better than you. You get better results, obviously, but you also save time, which is the most valuable asset that we have.
Building a personal brand through social media and monetizing that personal brand. It's a massive trend that we're seeing at Foundr. Like, there's so many people in our community that come to us, and there's so many people that are starting businesses where they grow their own YouTube channel.
Okay, so shout outs, paid promotions, brand deal. You see this with a lot of people like Casey or Peter McKinnon, Matti Hapoja, as we say in Finland, Matti Hapoja. people who grow a big personal brand, typically from the traditional sort of celebrity and even big YouTubers, a lot of them don't have their own products. You're starting to see it more now, so I want to give my 2 cents on this as well. It used to be that everybody is giving away their free content on YouTube, and then they're doing, hey, this video is sponsored by Storyblocks, or this video is sponsored by Fiverr, whatever it is, right? They're making their money, let's say 5,000, 10,000, 15, depending on their following, for shouting out these brands or doing brand collaborations to get their followers to buy the other brands' products, not the products that they've created themselves. And yes, some people do both, brand deals plus their own products, but a lot of times you've seen more brand deals. Now, what you've seen in the marketer space, in the digital entrepreneurial space, is the opposite, which is we don't ever get paid to promote anything. If you use Clickfunnels via my link because I love it and I recommend it to other people, I get a small portion of that. But then it's more of like, what do I want to do for a living? Okay, let me get really good at that and then serve my target audience, the people that I want to work with, and let me serve them as good as I can, right? Become as valuable as possible, and then serve them as good as I can, and then charge for that service. So while a lot of people still continue to give out free content, grow a personal brand, they sell products, services. It could be done for you. It could be physical products. It could be coffee. It could be doing both. It could be making money selling courses, but also having merch for your community. So a lot of ways to be creative and make money doing that as well. Let's now dive into idea number 2, which is e-commerce, because I have pretty strong opinions on this one.
Is starting an e-commerce business. You'll probably see a lot of trends, a lot of gurus talking about this. I can say, like, you know, a lot of the people that we interview at Foundr now are extremely successful e-commerce founders. They've built billion-dollar businesses, $100 million businesses, like even, you know, 7-figure or 6-figure businesses. We have a massive amount of people in our community that have built successful e-commerce businesses, right?
I want to hear this too, because a lot of times, and I know Foundr have courses in different areas, so I want to hear both sides, pros and cons. It's easy for me to say, hey, you should do e-commerce, build an e-commerce store, buy my course. So I want to hear both sides and then give my 2 cents on it.
And you have to put up a little bit of capital to do that.
Time and capital. So a lot of people, friends included here in Finland, but mostly online, people ask me like, what's the best one, right? That's why we're doing these reaction videos and talking about these topics, is what's the best one? And I say, okay, do you have a big budget? Are you just getting started, right? Do you have a lot of time? Because it's typically 2 types of people. You either have time or money. You don't have both a lot of times. And so if you have time, but you don't have money, then do something that you don't have to buy inventory. So it could be you selling a done-for-you service like video editing, graphic design, funnel design, marketing services. Obviously, first become good at what you do, but then you go on Facebook or Instagram to find these clients, specifically Facebook and Facebook groups, which is what we utilize. That way you don't have to pay for any advertising, inventory, or anything to reach these clients, and clients actually end up paying everything for you because you go and get those clients for free, if that makes sense. With e-commerce, so let's say that you don't have time, but you have money, then you could at least hire someone to build a Shopify store, right? You could hire people to do stuff because you have the money to then invest into the advertising. And then once you test those, products, winning products, whether you're doing drop shipping or you're buying inventory and building your own brand, so that you can spend time finding those winning audiences with creatives, get a good ROI on your ad spend. Those are the pros and cons in my opinion. So Amazon FBA, for an example, you put your products on Amazon, you got to rank to get purchased, even if you don't pay for advertising, which you can do as well on Amazon, but get the traffic there is harder to rank unless you're really good at what you're doing, but it's definitely possible. It's not me saying it's not possible. I just know from personal experience and a lot of people that I know, you can make money with e-commerce. A lot of times what you see though is the people who are making a lot with e-commerce, they keep scaling it to millions and even 100 millions. Like for example, one of my Facebook friends is the founder of Snow, the teeth whitening company, and they're I think 9-figure brand right now. So huge, massive brand brands through e-commerce. So you can definitely scale it easier than if you're selling done for you, like video editing, graphic design, funnel design. Then it's more like, hey, how can I get to 10,000 a month or 15 or 20,000 a month? And then you gotta hire a team and all that. So you can make 6 figures doing a lot of these services. It's easier to get to 7 figures by selling a physical product in e-commerce. But again, you need the time and the money up front to get started with e-commerce.
He's starting an e-commerce business, but it's a brand.
So he's saying build a brand, find someone in China, for example, through Alibaba, look at the reviews, find good manufacturers, and then source products from there, brand them, and then put them on Amazon, for example, Amazon FBA, so that you don't have to ship out those products yourself, and then just focus on advertising and sell your own products. One thing that I will add on e-commerce and branding is what seems to be working right now is one product brands, where you have sort of like a landing page, one product, you make it easy for people to see it and react like, wow, I want that. It's easy to purchase, and there's not like hundreds of products on that store that will just overwhelm people. It seems like online courses. So we talked about online courses in the last video. Let's listen to what he has to say here as well.
We always save the best to last. Number one is starting an online course, education-based business. So this is extremely profitable because you just need what's inside your head to be able to record it, package it up, teach, and then help others and sell that course to other people.
Yeah, this is actually one of the industries that have been thriving during COVID, when a lot of the local business have been suffering. Online businesses, both services and e-commerce and courses have been thriving, which is good for us, right? It's true what he's saying about people wanting to learn from home as well. What I've seen though, and I've been doing both. So I've been doing services, which is done for you funnel builds for people. I still do. So I've been doing both, where for example, I build funnels one day. And so I spend the entire day building funnels. And then the next day I coach people and I coach my students. And once a week we do Q&A calls. And for me, it's been working to do both, because I love doing and practicing and actually doing what I teach as well. Whereas some people just want to focus on courses because it's less work, if you will. But in my opinion, it's hard to sell courses than to actually make money building funnels. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, so that's basically it. Consulting, freelancing, e-commerce, personal brand, and course business. What's my opinion on this? Which one do I think that you should be focusing in 2021 if you want to be able to work from home and make money online? In my opinion, you shouldn't start by selling courses. It might sound lucrative because, well, you're selling a course and it's already being delivered as you sell it, so you don't have to do the done for you services. Sounds good, but it's also very short term. Let's say instead you spent this entire year doing done for you, okay? And it depends if you have 15 years or 10 years experience in what you do and you're ready to sell courses, of course, go for it. But if you're like me and I've had 15 different jobs and I go into business, I'm like, I'm not gonna sell a course from something that I saw and reteach it as my own course and make money just because courses is good profit. So I spent years and I've built now 260 funnels in all different types of industries. Now that I consult, coach, and sell courses at fulltimefunneldesigner.com, for me, it's easier to teach because it's from experience. It's easier to coach because it's from experience. So when someone in the student group asks me a question on our weekly calls on Wednesdays, people ask me questions. I say, here's what I did with this client. Here's what I think you should do. Oh, getting clients. Here's what I got my clients. Here's how I onboard them. Here's how I close them. Here's how I overcome objections. Here's how I do everything I do because it's from experience. So if you're going to, let's say, sell a course on e-commerce, make sure that you have the results and the profit margins and the advertising, and make sure that you have real results that are not only working for you, but are working for a lot of people. So before you go out and sell a course, work with a couple of people individually, make sure that they get the support, you get the results. Now you also get testimonials and case studies that you can share with more people to sell more courses. If it's e-commerce, like he said, and I agree with him, is that you build a brand which is long-term that you can then also exit later. But those are courses, e-com, consulting, which is done for you, which is where I would start if I were you. Freelancing, again, done for you. We have personal branding. So if you're in this for the long term, whether you're doing e-commerce or freelancing or consulting or courses, I would start documenting the journey. And I know a lot of people say this, document the journey, but I would just start sharing what I'm doing. I love when people get results, like Linda, for example, or you can share. So if you're in e-commerce, these are the products that we're building, we're developing. Here's the behind the scenes of us, creating the concept and doing the shoots and everything. For an example, I'm going in a couple of weeks. We're starting to develop some products in e-commerce. So I'll be documenting that and recording as we pick out the samples, we design stuff, we craft the product, and you'll be able to see everything so that, I don't know, maybe one or two of you can learn what we're doing in the process, but more importantly, relating to me as I go through this and sharing my thought process. You can then go, makes a lot of sense. Oh, I didn't think of this, thing this way. And anyways, that's my reaction to this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like this video, hit the notification bell for more videos just like these. And I create videos according from your feedback in the comments. So leave a comment what you want me to react to next, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.